would if I were them. Who's yeah. What let's I mean, not to jump to another show, but I have watched, I'm almost to the end. I don't remember what episode I'm on with Potomac.
Of the whole thing? You started at the beginning?
Yeah. I did, like, with the jet lag, because I'm so screwed up. I
What do you
powered
think of
through.
Potomac?
I'm you know who I'm liking is Candace.
Love.
Yeah, I like her. She is a freaking straight shooter. She is not scared, and I like that about her. Like, I like to think that I would be kind of like her. I wouldn't have the language. I don't like a lot of the name calling she does, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I like her. I like that chick. She's freaking. She brings it. She's her own. She's her own person, and I admire that.
As a person in the real world, because she's been on here 3 times, she's wonderful.
Oh,
she's smart. She gets she's another one. She gets the job. She understands the job.
Yeah.
She's really good at the job. She's smart, like well-spoken. Like, as a person, she's wonderful. And that's the thing. I mean, well, there's all this stuff that now came out on Potomac that, like, Robin, so, like, this season, like, you've caught up on this season too? Like, you've watched this season?
I'm, like, at the point where
I mean, it's not the greatest season.
No. I'm at the point where Candace just got her master's degree or something.
So, like, this rumor about her husband, which it's all false. They made this whole thing up.
Bullshit. I'd be so freaking pissed. And I like her for standing up and saying, you're not doing my husband dirty like that. And good for him. You know what I mean? And I like the Giselle girl. I like her too. But it's just when people manufacture drama and try to make a storyline and have so they're relevant to what's going on because they have nothing else. I don't like that. And it's so obvious and apparent, I think, to the viewers. And I really don't know much about that show. But yeah, I like Candace. I like Giselle, although I don't like what she did. I'm not nuts about the Mia chick. I don't like her too much.
I'm not a fan of Mia's.
Yeah,
Candace to me Candace is my absolute favorite. It's like, but now there's this whole thing. So, like, Giselle, yes, a lot of people feel you don't bring anything to the show. You don't show anything about your real life. Right. And you do spend the whole season, every season, trying to, like, call out other people, and it's all BS. Like, that whole thing about Chris, was all BS. So now it's come out, and Andy went off on Robin on Watch What Happens. It comes out that
about what?
Robin, this is real, this is not on the show, a woman from Canada was corresponding with Juan, her now husband, because they got married in real life, but at this point they're dating. They're still, like, living together. Juan.
She's trying to get him to sign a prenup, where it's happening now, where I'm watching.
Well, they end up getting married.
Okay.
But they were together forever. So this woman was corresponding with Juan during COVID. And I guess when she could come to the country, because she was in Canada, came to now I'm really oversimplifying. I don't know if Juan paid for the flight or whatever, but she was in a hotel room in Maryland. Apparently, according to Robin, but all this is coming out now. Like, she lost her wallet, so Juan had to go to the hotel and pay for the hotel room.
Did Robin know this when it was happening? Who is she?
Well, there's rumor, like, she's saying that there was an affair.
Who's saying?
I think this girl is saying, Juan and I. And so, right. So, so, like, no, she didn't know about this, but then she found out. But so the whole point that everyone in the world has, and Andy was like, wait, so, like, you spent the entire season. I actually think Robin's fired because of this. Like, first of all, she's not the most interesting anyway, but she might get one more season just to see this play out, but it's already happened. Like, you spent the whole season with your best friend, Giselle, accusing Candace's husband of being unfaithful, which we all know is bullshit.
But Robin was saying she didn't believe that he was, like, doing shady stuff. Like, she was like, no, I don't believe. I think Giselle is wrong. Right?
Yeah. But then, I mean, that still was the storyline.
Okay, you're right. Right.
And so like, you know, Andy and the viewers are very upset that like we actually have this was a boring season. And this is a real thing here. So when they come around and they say, what's on your scorecard here before we give you your contract for next season? What do you got going on? And you talk about like your business and your kids, and you didn't think to tell anybody that this was, I mean, we understand why you didn't.
I see.
Right. So it's kind of like,
come clean with it.
This wasn't on the show. You're not going to see this on the show at all. This is not on the show.
How did everyone find out about this though? Like, how did it come out?
I don't know. I don't know if the woman brought it up. But you know, Kathryn, if there's anything to come out, it comes out. And this wasn't like 10 years. This happened like now, like right before they filmed this season. So this could have been her storyline of like me and Juan we're dealing with. So that is, and Andy was like, no, that's not okay. Like I have another question now. And it really was like, so so whether she was supporting Candace or not, the point is like this whole storyline of this fake infidelity. You didn't think at any point to bring this up and he's like, you're on a show about your life. So it's like the bigger issue. So it's the bigger issue of the whole world knows that Robin now, I have nothing against her. I don't think she's really brought anything. She's not really the main.
She's boring to me.
I'm boring.
Not saying I don't like her. It's just like, I don't get it. Like, why? I don't understand what she brings.
Right. She's boring. So now it's like you're boring and you finally had something real to bring to the actual show as like, I mean, that's where you go back to a Lisa Rinna. Rinna gets it. Candace gets it. You got to do what everyone else does, sweetie. And none of them do it. That's another issue. They're saying like Giselle doesn't do it. The Grand Dame, like on Potomac, no one's willing to do it. It's a whole show of people blaming other people. But Robin had this, like, this is like Rinna would have brought it up, even on Jersey.
For sure.
Jennifer Aiden was accused. They said your husband had an affair. I don't know if you watched last season of Jersey, and she's like, "Yes, actually, he did." Right. So remember that she said, "You're right," and then the whole season was about that. Like that's what you're supposed to do. But Robin's like, "Well, why would I have brought it up? Because we already worked it out." Andy's like, "Well, because it just happened. It's about your life. So like you didn't think like." It makes it worse that this whole season was about an infidelity of sorts that never happened and was never anything. So Andy was actually mad, and the viewers are like furious. So it's just the bigger issue of like, what are you doing? She's
not really living a reality show life. Like she's just serving up a little bit, and it's boring anyway. You know,
I think she's going to be fired. I really do.
I mean, honestly, I don't think anyone would miss her except maybe Giselle because she's a little bit of a henchman for her. But the Ashley Darby girl shares her life, right?
More so.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get into some of them.
That's like the only one. I could be done with just about any of them. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, that sucks. I really like her. But Candace like freaking is awesome.
And not for nothing. It's like Candace took it on the chin when it was her season. I mean, that whole thing with Monique, like that was her season. It's not like she's become boring. She just, you know, is kind of like, well, I mean, I already kind of went there. Like when something else happens, I'll bring it up. But I mean, I can someone else hold the ball here for a season? I mean, I don't blame her. No, she's great.
I didn't see that season, but they had like some flashback clips this season of that going down, and I was like, "What the heck? When did that happen? How long ago was that? I can't go back."
Lawyers were involved because, like, you know, the thing is with those contracts, like those contracts can't prohibit two people from suing when it's criminal. It just says civilly, like you can't sue someone civilly.
Right.
Because of Danielle Staub. It's a Danielle Staub clause. But when it's criminal, that's why like Carolyn could sue. So there were lawsuits that were